Even though I've been teaching science now for 10 years, I've never done anything quite like this.
Well, at first, science to me was just another topic to learn, or like math and English just to learn.
There's a great opportunity for collaboration between teachers in different districts.
I liked kind of learning about the animals in the streams, so I'm probably going to go somewhere towards animals like zoology or something.
I think that after the academy, learning science is more interesting because I understand most of it.
The program was designed to make sure that there was engagement between the faculty and the students and the teachers. We wanted to make sure that students were in charge of their own learning and developed key aspects to that learning. A key aspect to this whole project was that students were involved in research and to see whether that in fact enhanced student learning, and that's where the assessment piece came into play.
What a lot of us took from the Institute is that there needs to be change done in how we perceive the environment, and that has to start with people knowing about the environment. So the first step to that solution is knowledge, and we're providing that with an environmental science course.
Science learning has changed because it kind of makes me, going to this, it made me more interested to learn about this stuff, and I'm actually doing a lot better in science class than I was before because I actually want to go to that class and learn something about it.
One of the things we did at the academy was make our web pages on Sakai and Lenya, and it helped me a lot because I went back to school at high school and we did HTML and we did it at the academy, so it kind of helped me.
For us living in Kent, using the Cuyahoga River as a source of data for research is excellent because it's not even a mile away from here. So with very little difficulty, we can go and get samples, we can go on field trips, and that's what we're planning to do with our environmental science class.
It seemed that being part of a learning community is much different than being the teacher in front of a group of students. You had more collaboration. I was a source for things they didn't know. In particular, when we went into the laboratory, we had to do some chemistry, and which is in my field, I was able to explain what was going on when we did certain analysis for such as nitrogen and other things in the water.
And here these are very young students, and yet very capable of what we would consider adult kinds of learning. It meant something to them, and I think that's a very big difference. You stick with something if it means something to you. And when we went to the site visits, one of the things that came out very strongly was when they went back to their schools and they had 45-minute periods of science, and then they went on to something else, and 45 minutes the next day, and then on to something else, that this piecemeal approach to teaching and to learning a subject, it was just so different than when you're actually immersed in a project. The depth that you can go into when you're not distracted by so many different kinds of events. So I think we learned a lot about how education can take place and how students can learn far beyond what we would guess if they have the motivation and the environment within which they can learn.